Welcome, welcome. Hi, everybody. Tonight we're going to do Q&As, and they're just going to be fun. We're going to lay back and just chill. I wish there wasn't a delay. It's hard for me to know how much delay it is. I mean, I guess it's 30 seconds, but it's hard for me to know how much delay there is. And so I'm not sure if you guys want to go on to the next topic or if you want to do something. Hi. There's Sue and Dawn and Pam. Hi, you guys. We are here. We are here. Hello, hello. It's like the Who's Down in Whoville, right? We are here. Hi, Leslie. Hi, Elizabeth. Betsy. Hi, Lucy. Hello, you guys. Illinois, we're from all over. Virginia. Our Canadian. Hi, Carol. Leslie's from Canada, Vancouver. Carol, hi. I know all you guys. I know all you guys. Hi, Lynn. And you know me. It's fun. It's fun just to chat. We've got some good questions tonight. And we'll probably have a little bit of time for a little extra. If you have a question, we can sneak in there. Arizona, Dublin, Ohio. My son's in Ohio. Not Dublin, but he's in Ohio. Leslie, New Zealand. Leslie, my goodness, having lunch in New Zealand. Too funny. A friend of mine went to New Zealand 2 weeks ago and was talking about how far away it is. Leslie, that's a long ways away. New Zealand is a long ways away. Tuscaloosa, that must be Alabama. Right, Mildred? Tuscaloosa? I mean, there's probably more than one Tuscaloosa. I know Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Hi, Paula. Betsy in Washington. You guys, there's a whole bunch of us here. Hi, Janet. Hi, Victoria. Very good. Very good, you guys. All right, well, let's get started. I've got some, like I said, I think some good questions. Questions, you know, if it's something that I've done before, I still do it because, you know, I think it's good to hear it again. Hi, Janet. Hi, Roseanne, Michigan. And we were talking, we had a photo shoot yesterday. We were talking about Michigan. New York. Everybody's all over. Everybody's got good weather. Fortunately, right now, there's no storms going on, and it's all okay. The country's kind of in a lull right now. I find this time a good time to sew. Is that just me, you guys, or are you with me? It's such a good time to sew because it's so hot in the afternoons. So I get some, yeah, Mildred, Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Roll Tide. There you go. My brother went to Auburn, so I hear you. But I think that it's such a fun time to sew because there is, you know, the afternoons are hot. So like I get up really early and I do my outside stuff and then, man, I'm in for the day and I get to do whatever I want. It's nice. All right. Well, very good, you guys. Sometime we ought to just have a chat where we just sit and chat with each other. But anyway, all right. So let's get on with questions here. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Any time to sew is good. I think that's true. I'm going to tell you something. Well, I won't. Let's go on with this. Okay, first question is, need suggestions of your patterns or tops you could wear with a wider leg pant. I don't necessarily tuck in or do a half tuck. Could we do this? Yes. Oh, you guys, look, there's all these people. Sandy, Paula, hi, you all. Oh, it's great to be here. All right, so I'm going to go back to my little OBS here because it's got my pictures in here. And I'm going to show you, here's what I did. Now, here's the question. I didn't say this very good, but let me go ahead and try this again. The question is, what can I wear with my wider leg pant? And I think that what you want to do, the concept, what I did is I made a little collage. Let me put this collage up. I made a little collage of patterns. You'll notice some of them are more recent, but there's some good ones that are kind of classics that will do really well. So what you want to look at is how, you know, a lot of it, you guys, and you know this, is how comfortable you are with your body. But a wide leg pant is, we have a new one coming out. It's a really positive look. It's a pleated pant. Well, we have two pants patterns in the pattern. There's a pleated pant with a wider leg and then a flat front with a wider leg. They're both the same leg, but one is a flat front and one is a pleated front. And they're both just beautiful. I mean, you'll see them on the model. You'll see they're just beautiful. All right, so what you want to do, again, depending how comfortable you are with your body, but you want to minimize extra fabric up top because you've got the fullness. The fullness down below is good. It's pretty. It's beautiful. But you can't do a wide bottom on the top and a wide bottom on the bottom. So you want to do a narrower top. So if we look at some of these 116 and 422, both of those are kind of twisty little tops. They would both look really good. 122, you could tuck in and blouse. We've got a waistband on this particular pleated pant, and that tuck in and blouse would look very nice. If you look at 123, tuck in that bottom part, and that drapey part over the front of 123 would hang over and would just look beautiful and give you like a blouson look in the front and the back. 197 has an overlay. Again, tuck in the base, the bottom part, and then let that overlay hang over. That would be beautiful. 215 goes without much explanation. 224, if you notice it there, I'm sorry, not 224, 324, we did that purposely. As these newer looks have come out, we purposely designed tops to go with them. And that 324 that crossover tee is perfect. You can see it is there with a wide pant on. And then 523. Yeah, 523. Again, a blouson look would be a terrific look. Okay, so I'm going to leave those up so you can kind of take a look at them. And honestly, there's more. There really is more. I just wanted to give you kind of thinking that what you're looking to do is to minimize or give some fullness, but a little bit directional in that top section so that it balances the bottom. That's really what we're looking to do. Okay. All right. Number 313, number 618, number 313. She wants to know, why can't she find these? I don't know. 313 is not available. So lately, you guys, we've done some patterns that are available for a period of time and then they're not available anymore. So 313 is Terry's top. That's one of them. That was in a 5-pack of patterns, so that one's not available. 618 is available. 618 is on the Silhouette site, and 115 is available. That's on the Silhouette site. And did you do a sew along for the June's PM's 514? No. I know that if I feel like it's just really simple, I won't do a sew along. Except for these last few sew alongs, I felt like there needed to be some understanding of knit versus pattern, that we needed some greater understanding of knit versus pattern. And so that's kind of the reason that I took the month of July and just did some easy, kind of what I thought would be easy sew-alongs. I've been sewing pajamas for winter using all your patterns. You guys, if you could see what I wore to bed every night, I wear my patterns. I wear either I've worn them out and the fabric is so, it's just old, but I still love them because they feel good on. They feel so good on. They look like hell, but they feel really good on. So that's what I do with my pajamas too. That's what I do with my old clothes. They go from my closet to my pajama wardrobe, then to, sometimes they can't even go to Goodwill. They're just too beat up. And you'd think that'd be crazy. It's not like I don't have enough clothes. We've had several days of rain. When it's not raining, it's very steamy. Where are you, Victoria? It's cooler here in Dallas than we've ever had it. Somebody said to me the other day they wanted it to be hotter because that's the only thing that kept people out of Texas. We need it to be hot so that we don't lose our overheating reputation. All right, so this question comes as a result of kind of why I wanted to do these sew-alongs. I wanted to clarify this, and obviously I haven't clarified it because here's another question regarding it. I was watching your program Sew-Along last night, Giorgio's top. I'm confused about stretch. Will you explain the difference between one-way, two-way, and four-way? In researching, it seems that two-way and four-way may be the same. You mentioned going down a size with two-way stretch, so would that be the case with four-way stretch as well? Yes. Okay, so I think it's ridiculously confusing, and I'm really sorry for the confusion. I'm certainly not to blame for the confusion, and I'm going to try to make it as clear as possible. So it's been really fabric. I think it's a sewing community that created something called a four-way stretch. Oh, from Virginia. That's where the rain is. Yeah, we've got rain coming here tomorrow too, so that's good. I like the rain. I love the rain. Anyway, so the stretch stuff, you know, when you think about it and just think about it logically, you can't take a piece of fabric and stretch it this way without it stretching this way. So I don't know how in the world anybody could call something four-way. It's not possible to have four-way stretch. It's just, there's only two directions of fabric. You know, there's either up and down or across. So if those both stretch in my mind, it's two-way stretch. If it only stretches, you know, one way, that's either up or down or across. There can't be anything else. So two-way and four-way, you know, if you go to that, I would say that it is the same. A two-way stretch and a four-way stretch, I would say, with all intents and purposes, that is meant to be the same. So, but it is very confusing, and I apologize for that. It's like crotch depth and crotch length. If I had enough power, I would change those, but I don't. So anyway, they get confusing. Once you learn that it's just confusing, then you just go with it. It's the same with knits. If you learn that it's just confusing, I think you just go with it, and that's the goal. Okay. I'm looking in for Brett's chart, and I cannot find it on your website. Okay, so some of you, when you say the Brett chart, I know that goes back, you know, a few years ago. So let's show you the chart that we're talking about. So what you're going to do is you're going to have to listen, hear me for a minute. You're going to go to FAQs, silhouettepatterns.com, silhouettepatterns.com. And at the very top of silhouettepatterns.com, there's above the Silhouette Patterns logo, above the gray bar that's solid, above that, the very, very top, home, tips and tricks, FAQs, webcast, retail location, my account. FAQ, you're going to click on FAQs. And if you haven't been to that section, it's probably helpful. In the middle, it says FAQs, frequently asked questions. In the very middle column, it says, why don't you have body measurements? Why don't you have body measurements? And right below there, we don't call it the Brett chart because Brett never wanted it to be named the Brett chart. I named it the Brett chart because Brett said to me one day, why don't you do a chart and, so, you know, make a spreadsheet so they can fill out the spreadsheet. And I said, I don't have time to make a spreadsheet. They can make their own spreadsheet. And in his always kindness and always giving attitude, he said, I'll make a chart. Well, he didn't even say that to me. He actually put it up. So what this chart is if you will go, and so I called it the Brett chart because it's kind of like, you know, Brett's a little stubborn, maybe. I don't know. We're both stubborn, so we're both alike, to be honest. But anyway, it has clothing measurements, and why clothing measurement is important. And you can see this is 10 years old. It's been up here for a while. And then you can see there's an Excel spreadsheet, and you want to fill that out. Now that chart, to fill out that chart, is very, very important. I cannot say how important it is. It's very, very important. So when I go shopping with ladies, I take that Brett chart. Because I ask them if they know about it, and most of them say no. What Brett chart? They don't even know that about it. In fact, we have a class coming up. It's the shopping class. And the shopping class starts August 11th. And I'm going to use the Brett chart. I'm going to point it out. We're going to go shopping. I'm going to show you how to measure for those numbers. You know, this is a very bold statement, and I'll apologize for it ahead of time. but you really cannot sew until you have filled out the bread chart. Knowing what you like, it's really that important. If you're sewing without knowing what size armhole you like, if you're sewing without knowing that, you're lucking out. And maybe you're not lucking out, but the goal for me is to make sure that when you sew, there's no luck. It's just, you know what you're doing and you simply put the garment together, but your choices are, they have reference to them. They have meaningful purpose. They came from a jacket, you know, da 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 da. Okay, so that's what the bread chart is. That's where it is, and everyone should fill it out. Less confusing to use vertical and horizontal when describing fabric stretch. Yeah, I agree with that. You know, just stretches in both directions, or stretches in one direction. You know, that's really what I've said. I've just given up on the 2-way and the 4-way, just because, like you said, it's just ridiculously confusing, and it's almost like they set out to make it confusing. But it either has stretch, when it has stretch in both directions, you can make a smaller size because you've got stretch going both ways. And so that makes sense that the fabric is just a little, it relaxes more. It doesn't hold the loops as well. And so you can make a smaller size. Do you mind if I ask you about your right hand ring? My right hand ring? Oh, no. It's a ring my mother had, you guys. And honestly, I mean, I guess you can ask me because I'm answering. It's a ring my mother had. My father had given it to my mother like a million years ago. And I actually had been cleaning out some stuff the other day, and I found some of her things that I'd kept, obviously. And I found it, and I thought, oh my gosh, like there's some beautiful thing. There's many things in there. But anyway, it's my mother's ring. My father had given it to my mother many, many years ago. And I forget that I had just got it on and just put it on. Should have taken it off. Okay. I know, it's very pretty. Oh, thank you. Thank you, you guys. It's even more than pretty, it's meaningful. Does that make a difference? To me, it's so meaningful. So anyway. All right, let's get back to Q&As. I don't realize you guys could see that well. Can you see I don't have makeup on? Can you see that too? Okay, so let's go to some pictures here. I'm going to look at this picture, and this is pattern 300. This is not 300. She's got the wrong number on here, but it's okay. There is no pattern 300. So I did not catch that, you guys. And so I apologize. I think it's 523. But anyway, either so. Her question is, look at the fold. And that fold is vertical. So because that fold is vertical, what is that telling us? And what that's telling you is that there's too much circumference. And she got it right. She said, she really appreciated all she had learned, but that she was thinking it's a circumference issue. And it is. Whenever it's vertical, it doesn't have any diagonal to it. And I'm going to show you, it's harder to see in this picture. In this picture, it's much easier to see. You can see it's just way too big. But also, pattern 300, yeah, that's not 300, but anyway, also what you can see is that it's just too, I think it could also be, it's hard to tell, I can't tell this fabric, it could be that the fabric's just too soft, too stiff, I mean, that you need a softer fabric, but from that picture you can see that that whole thing just needs to be smaller. Now again, I don't know, that might not even be one of our patterns. She says it is, but I don't recognize that pattern. I don't know that we have a pattern like that. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyway, that's the answer. Okay? Okay, so vertical, when they're completely vertical and they're not angular in either direction, that just means that that is circumference. How do I use fold over elastic on a woven neckline? I've watched your videos using this on a knit, but not on a woven. Is it 1-to-1 on a woven? No, it's not 1-to-1. In fact, if you do a 1-to-1, the woven will like split and kind of ruffle. So it's actually the exact same on a woven that it is on a knit. there's no reason why it's any different on a knit than a woven. If you think about that and think about why would it be different, we can entertain that, but it's exactly the same thing. Okay. All right, so let's go to this next one. All right, and this next one is the shirt dress that you made using pattern 600. Did you put the back and front darts in it, which are used on the shirt? I did. So I am a big believer in darts. Especially bust darts are really a good thing. We've talked more about bust darts than any other kind of darts, but vertical darts to me, I'm always going to have, and you're going to always see me having vertical darts or a belt or elastic or pleats or something. You've got to bring in that fabric underneath the bust. It's got to come in. It's got to come in. If it doesn't come in, it's Dolly Parton and a muumuu, and you will look twice as heavy as you even think you might. So you've got to bring it under the bust. Very important to bring it under the bust. Okay? So yes, when you're making the shirt dress, making 600 into a shirt dress, just extend it down, but still, I would absolutely do those darts. And again, you don't have to do them if you're going to wear with a belt or if you're doing an elastic waist, as long as you're bringing it in. There's all kinds of ways you can do that. It just depends on what you're doing or what you're using for. Okay? Okay. The next question, it's actually the last question. Let me get this picture here for you. Many of you will recognize this is Melania Trump. She is at the Republican National Convention. And the question is, just as a reminder before I ask this question, I want to be able to, I don't care about politics. I don't care about what they think. I don't care about how scuzzy the person they are. I don't care about any of that. I would care about if they're dressing well, and if they look good. Okay, that might be really callous, but what we're going to do is we're going to glean all the information we can from women who dress well. I don't care who it is. Nothing for or against Melania, nothing for or against anyone. All right, those are the ground rules. Okay, here in this case, because I want to talk about this for a minute, Melania, in my opinion, always looks incredible. She's an incredible dresser. She knows what she's doing, and it's very intentional. Everything is very intentional. In this particular case, this sleeve length is called a bracelet length. So if you go back in history a little bit, Tiffany, the jewelry store Tiffany, did Elsa Peretti. Elsa Peretti is a designer for Tiffany's. And she did a bracelet. It was called the bone cuff bracelet. And what it did is it just sat right on that bone, because the bracelet length sleeve sits right above that bone. It's longer than a 3/4 sleeve, but it's shorter than a typical sleeve, and it is called bracelet length, and the goal is to show off a bracelet. Now it's interesting, she has on a bracelet length sleeve, but she has bracelet on neither arm. However, keep in mind that when your sleeve is shorter like that, you will look taller. It's very important you recognize that. You will look taller. When those sleeves are too long, they can be the right length. That's called bracelet length, but if they're too long, you will look shorter. So just be aware of that. The other comments I wanted to make on this are her buttons. Typically on a double-breasted suit, for a more slimming look, she's got 6 buttons, and all of those 6 buttons are right in the center. Typically, the bottom set will be narrower, the middle set will be a little wider, and the top set will be the widest. So I find that very interesting that she would miss that, because I do respect this woman as a tremendous dresser. But it's interesting she's missed that. I want you to see that, because just in general, Melania is not a thin person. I'm not saying she doesn't look great, but I want you to notice that she's not a real thin person. She has a very large bust, and she dresses incredibly well. You'll never see her in something that doesn't come in under the bust, because she doesn't want to look like Dolly Parton in a muumuu. Okay, so that is a bracelet length sleeve. It is a positive. Again, typically it's done with a bracelet, but interesting that she decided not to do that. Again, probably very purposeful. just they are wealthy people, maybe playing down the wealth. I don't know. Um, I love a bracelet length sleeve. I do too. I think a bracelet length sleeve is beautiful. But, it's interesting because a lot of times, um, one of the comments made to me last week at the store was one thing about 312. 312 is Giorgio's top. That's the one we had the sew along on for the sew along last week, last Tuesday. And somebody commented in the store on Saturday that it's a great top to show off blouses, or to show off jewelry, to show off jewelry. And I agree with that. A lot of times when I have a pretty piece of jewelry or something that I've selected, then I'll make something to go with it or to show that off. And the bracelet length sleeve is like that. I'll make that bracelet length sleeve if I have a bracelet that works well with the colors that I'm working with. So that's just an interesting concept. Hello from Georgetown. Hi, Ann. How are you, sweetie? When will you be scheduling the POM video? Actually Tuesday. I kind of got my weeks. I thought we had another week in July. We don't. Tuesday is the last week. It's the last Tuesday. So this Tuesday will be the POM webcast. It will be the POM. The POM is Diane's wrap dress, and I've got some versions I've actually made and been waiting for this webcast to happen. So I'd really like to deal with this. Wrap dresses are everywhere. They're just all over the place. And we've got some fabric from a German designer that is in Neiman Marcus, and it's extremely expensive. We've got the fabric for it, and so I want to put up the fabric with it on Tuesday. Leslie, I need to shorten number 98. Do I take some of the top pieces and some off the bottom pieces? The bottom back has angled sides. Leslie, I answered this for you privately, just FYI. But yes, the answer is yes. But I'm not sure why you didn't get that email from me. But anyway, just please know I did answer it, but it's fine to ask it here. And yes, you can take off, maybe it was something else I answered about that jacket. But yes, you can really shorten that anywhere you want to, as long as you get the total length where you want it to be. Would love a sew along for the Acris jacket cape, 1923. Such a cool look. So you guys, let me tell you my thoughts on this stuff, okay? Leslie, to clarify, do I take the length at the bottom of each of those pieces? It doesn't matter, they're rectangular. So yes, you can take them at the bottom for ease, but it doesn't really matter. So sew-alongs are very time consuming, and they're very time consuming. So when I look at a sew-along, like the last few sew-alongs, I really tried to, we've got a lot of new customers, we've got a lot of new sewers. I really want you all to sew, to go get these easy pieces that are so simple to just sew them up and have something new and fun to wear. Use up some of your stash. Just go. So you can see, I set up a new top the other night, and it was 15 minutes, 20 minutes, just so fast. So for July, I wanted to really do some easy, quick sewing, and that's why I did it. But when you do a sew along, especially like 1923, it's a beautiful jacket. But I've done set-in sleeves. I've done every part of that jacket to where it shouldn't. I just don't feel like we need a sew-along for that. I really want to be more purposeful in these sew-alongs, because I feel like it's boring for you all to just watch me sew seams. So like I said, I even sewed up half the other night just so that we could get an idea as to, she wouldn't have to watch me sew the whole thing. Okay, I'm doing well. I've been sewing up a storm. Good. I needed clothing for a cruise and made 75% of them. Way to go. I think that's really exciting when we do that, when we're really turning to ourselves to get clothing, when we've got fabrics that we love and we can make things up really quickly. So those were my purposes for the sew along. Just know that. Just kind of know how we behind the scenes think. I know it's crazy, but my time is really limited. And so, gosh, it would take, like, we'd have to have a good hour and a half sew along, and I just hate to do that. It just feels like it's just too much time on the net yield not being there. We have had jacket sew-alongs and they're up there, but you know, as far as watching what to do, you guys can do this. You don't need me. You did answer some other questions. Okay, good. Leslie, let me know if you have anything else and I'll reach out. All right, you guys, so I would recommend, a couple things I would recommend. We have an advanced pattern class starting. Our pattern class has just really been going well. I love watching you sew anything. Why, you guys? Why is it as I don't understand that. Like, I don't understand. I don't think I could watch somebody sit and sew. I don't think I could do that. So I do struggle with why you all watch. I mean, I do understand that what it's done is it's given you confidence, but we've done so many of them. I just feel like it should be good. Love the sew-alongs. You offer great variations on a theme, especially when you feature a twist or a quick basic for us. Get the most mileage out of your patterns. Yeah, so you know that's like truly my heart. My heart is to get you to get the most out of your patterns. You know, in the spring patterns, we offered a class to get the most out of your patterns. We're going to do that again for the fall because I just think that's so important to really see a versatility with each of the new, not with all of the new four, but with the new four ones, we offered different versions in the pattern. We actually offered in the pattern themselves, so you get at least two views, you know, in each one. You make sewing look easy. I think it is easy. What is hard about what, you know, tell me all what what you make hard. Maybe it's your rings. My new ring, that's it, huh? I purchased your purple zebra fabric. I can't remember what pattern you used to sew it up with. I think the zebra, that's a cotton. I would do like a 575, a 600, something like that. Your confidence shines through. Yeah, my heart, aw. We do love watching you sew because it feels like we are hanging out, doing what we love. Lots of us don't have sewing buddies. Oh, I love that. That's sweet, you guys. Okay, that's fair. So is it fair though to say that we can keep them time-wise to a minimum? You know, that they don't have to be, that a 30-minute sew-along is really just as good as an hour-and-a-half sew-along? Is that fair? You know, we could do 3 garments in an hour and a half versus 1. You know, I mean, but it's for information also, right? Is it gathering information? Is it helping you gather information? It's not just hanging out, right? I'm hoping that it's not. Okay, but I like that, you guys. It's sweet. Is your pattern class more explanatory than the old videos? I think so. I think it is, just because, you know, I think, hi Terry, I think that as you guys know, Fort Pierce, Florida, I was in Tampa. I went to Tampa Thursday and Friday. I had a workshop in Tampa, and that was that glitch, that airline glitch. And so I sat in Tampa for hours and hours and hours because so many flights had to be canceled. But Fort Pierce, Florida, that's good. Just, you know, fly. Anyway, I mean, I think that there is a really easy side to sewing. There's so much that we can sew that is so simple. It's just so simple. And I think the beauty in sewing those very simple garments is we just get so good at sewing. When we had Maria was on for the series we just did, the 1300 series that we just did, we did how to sew. When you start to sew, the first thing you should do is just straight lines, straight lines, and you should look around your house, and we did hot pad holders and pillows. Everything should be straight, just so straight lines. And don't take, and we did all kinds of projects that did straight lines that you could practice straight lines on. And then we did curved lines, and curved lines go to set-in sleeves, and curved lines go to things like that are a little more complex, not hard, but a little more complex. So I've been doing that with you in July. Everything that we sewed was kind of straight line. My hope is that as you practice those lines, you just gain more confidence. Of course you can sew. You can sew really quick and easy. And now the 222 that we'll have, not this week, I thought it was this week, but we'll push it back to next week. The 222, it has a French dart, it has a set-in sleeve, but you're ready for that because you just get so much confidence with those straight seams. And then when you go to do a jacket, you already know straight seams and curved seams, so it's not any harder. It's just more pieces. And I've compared it to a jigsaw puzzle often. You know, you're moving from a 100-piece jigsaw puzzle to a 200-piece jigsaw puzzle, and that's it. It shows, let's see, I missed a couple of these, you guys. Yes, a half hour plus fabric is perfect. Good, good, good. Yes, using less pins is fun to watch. Good, good. It shows how to sew what seems difficult, but when you show it, it then makes sense. Okay, that's the goal. Watch Peggy's back catalog of videos. They're great. Thank you, you guys. They're just like drawing. Practice, practice, practice. It is. I love watching you sew. I learned so much from the way you handle the fabric to ironing, and the directions from the pattern helps me so much. I appreciate that. I mean, I'm glad. I'm glad. So sometimes I just feel like it's so boring. It's hard for me to, I don't want to feel like I'm wasting your time. And sometimes I'm telling you, I feel like I'm wasting your time. I wish I had seen this info about quick tops and capes. I hadn't chosen any of those. I made the sweater set, the 4-way cardie, Anne's top, Nick and Zoe's, and Jack. Those are all easy, good ones. The videos are great and YouTube's good. Okay, good. Do you show in your pattern making class how to do things and what to do? Of course. Yeah. Pattern making, a lot of people, I got an email today, a lot of people think pattern making is fitting. Pattern making is not fitting. They're two completely different arenas. When I was in college, pattern making, what you could take pattern making, you had to have there was no prerequisites. So people think you have to have all this experience to learn patterns. It's just the opposite. In my opinion, patterns should be where you start. If you don't understand patterns, you know, you're just going to have confusion when you start into sewing. And that I'm so committed to believing that it makes me nervous when you know y'all are sewing and don't know those concepts. But anyway, not to lecture you all. Okay, so we've got lots going on. We've got lots of online classes. I want to have a Fit to Stitch donation day. Not that you guys haven't donated, but for those who have not donated, if you donated, don't. But I know there's lots watching who have not donated. So I'm going to make tomorrow Fit to Stitch donation day. Can we do that, you guys? And remember that we're still giving away this chair. So we'll make it a Fit to Stitch Friday. How's that? Good, you guys. Do you show in your yeah? Okay, so I think we've got it all done. I can't believe how fast the time goes. It's actually 8:40. Good grief, it is. My goodness. It's like a hard puzzle watching pattern making. No, I think, honestly, I think it's like anything. I really do believe that clearly the more you do it, you know, the more you watch. I think that's the whole purpose of these classes. You can just watch them over and over and over. Don't try to do it as you're watching. Just simply listen. Just listen and just, you know, go from there. And I think you'll find it, you know, I think pattern making is so simple. And I just, you know, I just have this strong sense that everybody should learn pattern making. But I get that you don't want to. I really do. All right, with that, you guys, I'm going to say goodnight. We'll see you Tuesday. We'll do the POM Tuesday. It won't be a sew along. We'll have fabrics, but it'll just be different ideas you can do with that wrap. Lots of great wraps out there. Be looking for wraps, and I would love it if you find great wraps. Send me pictures, because we'll you know, we'll explore that whole thing, and I would love for you to be involved. I'm sure you find things that I don't, so we'll make it a team effort. How's that? All right, so we'll say goodnight. Love you. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you on Tuesday. All right, bye.